So, ladies and gentlemen, we now begin with our panel discussions. The topic which we have is Atmanirbhar Bharat with a special focus on women empowerment. Herein, we are going to be looking into the very important role of women and empowering women for the success of the Atmanirbhar Bharat program. I welcome all our panelists on board, Mr. K.J. Alphonse, Member of Parliament and the former Union Minister. We have Mrs. Swaroop Rawal, actress and educator, Dr. Malini Ranganathan, Director of Indo-French Dindi NGO, Ms. Narinder Kaur, founder, the Women Bar Unleashed. I welcome Mr. Gautam Mukherjee, MD and CEO of Spotify, Ms. Shri Vidya Popala, the CEO of Enscon's Business Process Consulting Services, Mrs. Rashhi Sharma, the CEO of International Trainer and Therapist Soul Consciousness Lab. And the session is going to be moderated by Ms. Vatika Singh, Sub-Editor, Indian Achievers Forum. Once again, welcome to all our panelists. And as you can see, we have a diverse panel. With that, I hand over to Ms. Vatika Singh, the moderator for the proceedings of the session.
Hello everyone, we warmly welcome you all to the panel discussion of Atmanirbhar Bharat Awards with special emphasis on women empowerment. Since the rapid growth and development of the Indian economy has increased, the need for a common platform where all the sections of community can discuss the major issues of Indian economic growth. Indian Achievers Forum is the platform which engages in developing and sharing ideas, opinions, and knowledge on the key issues. An approach by Indian Achievers Forum that places emphasis on beneficiary participation will create awareness in all sectors and move towards developing stronger and more collaborative partnerships. As a matter of fact, Atmanirbhar Bharat is not possible without women empowerment. Women-led development will pave the way for self-reliant Bharat in real sense. Without any doubt, 50% of the population belongs to our women. The resilience, passion, and commitment for family, society, and country are shown at different periods from time to time. We are a land of customs, traditions, and values. It becomes the need of the hour, keeping in mind the global pandemic situation, to make women self-reliant and empower them to unleash the best of their abilities. With this, we proceed with our panel discussion for today. We have Mr. K.J. Alphonse, the Member of Parliament and former Union Minister. Mr. K.J. Alphonse is an Indian civil servant, advocate, and politician from Kerala. He is the former Union Minister of State of Culture and Tourism in office since 3rd September 2017 to May 2019 under the BJP government of Narendra Modi. He is currently serving as a Rajya Sabha MP. Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah.
Sir, I'd like you to put some light on the Atmanirbhar Bharat mission.
Well, I thought the whole thing was about Atmanirbhar Bharat mission as well as about empowerment of women. I think there is some fundamental problems here. If you want to link both these concepts, see, we need to really be more self-reliant, not in terms of what we thought in the 1950s. With the famous Maharanavis model, where we thought we could produce from everything from safety pin to the atomic power stations. That is not the whole idea. I think we just need to be competitive, choose sectors in which we can be globally competitive, and we need to produce those things here. I mean, you'd be shocked because I was also Minister for Information Technology for a short while. We don't even produce a single chip. Can you believe this? You know, more than 30-40% of technicians and scientists working on globally on chips, production of chips, enhanced capacity chips, they are Indians. And many of the laboratories are in India, but we don't produce one single chip. I mean, take even for the automobile industry, because when China had a problem sending the automobile components to India, these small little processors, you know, our entire automobile industry came to a halt. The same way our entire electronic industry is so dependent on China and also on Taiwan, but mostly on China, which is extremely dangerous. But these are things which we could be producing in India itself, and I do not understand why we are not doing it. I think our industry finds it so easy to be importing it, because it is cheaper, but in the long run, I think it's not good for the country. It's not for the good for the industry as well. Because if I just talk about patriotism, it's not going to work. I got to tell people why it is important for you to be producing these things in India. I mean, how come we are a global pharmacy of the world and still 80% of raw material API for our pharmaceutical industry comes from China? I mean, it's crazy. So many of these sectors, we are so over dependent on other countries, especially on China, which is not good for the security of the nation and not good for the industry either. Why is that we are not able to do these things? I understand that if you want to produce high capacity chips, we need, of course, huge investment. We need huge investment. But these are areas in which the government must also put in money and say, okay, here is $10 billion for production of fab. And if something good comes out of it, fine. If it doesn't happen, well, let the money go. I mean, this is how countries put their money on key sectors. So I'm also extremely happy that there's production-linked incentives to create local industry which can produce a whole lot of things at competitive rates. We have come out with production-linked incentive schemes just in few sectors. There was no point in trying to putting it across to everything so that money doesn't reach anywhere. We are concentrating on few sectors like advanced batteries, solar systems, electronics, so some of these textiles, so some of these areas where we could really be globally competitive. Our exports mainly comprise of traditional items. And there's been a 70% drop during the corona period in the export of these items. So we just need to change our basket of exports, the basket of kind of things which are produced in this country, basket of dependency on other countries. I think all this needs to be done. Secondly, then we come to this whole issue of women empowerment. See, we all talk about it, but let me ask a very, very simple question. Do we empower our mothers, our sisters, our wives? Let me start with wives. How many of us empower our wives with real power? I know most men, they don't care about what happens in the office during a weekday, but on the final Saturday day, the man is waiting at the gate to receive the paycheck. Oh no, you don't know how to operate accounts. It's complicated, and therefore, no, let it be in my account. I think all this is nonsense. My only property which I have is a flat on Marine Drive, and I have another small little property in Delhi. And when we sold some properties in Bangalore, and I was buying this expensive flat in Cochin. I told my wife, it has to be in your name. She says, no, it has to be in Joy's name. I said, no way, it will be only in your name. Then she said, that leaves the properties in my name and not much in your name. I said, that doesn't matter. You have to be empowered. You have to feel that you possess things which are more important than I do. And I think even at home, I mean, how many of us put money, bulk of my money, actually my liquid cash is in my wife's account. I would never ask her in 40 years of our married life where she's ever gone. She's out most of the time. I never asked her where she goes. I've never ever checked her mobile number. I don't even have the key to that. I will never do that. I think we need to understand that the women are just not there as beautiful pieces to be admired, to be taken to parties. And then I think this entire attitude has to change dramatically. Well, will Indian men change? I have a very serious doubt. I have extremely serious doubt because I come from a state where the women are highly educated, a lot of them are working, but still all the slogging at home is done by the women, and very little credit goes to the women. You go to a party, and as you enter, you see the sudden division of people. The men are headed to the bar, and you will see them only at the end of the party. The women are headed to a corner where they talk about, I think, children's grades and things like that. I think India needs to empower. We need much more women chief executives. We need much more women on our boards, many more senior positions. But I think fundamentally it has to start from home, where the husband and the wife, and of course the father, the brothers and the sisters, truly believe that yes, we have equal terms. I think unless this kind of an attitude or change comes, things are not going to happen. So that's for the introductory.
Okay, so next on the panel we have Mrs. Swaroop Rawal, who is an actor and an educator. Swaroop Rawal's chosen path is one of development and transformation for humanity. Her seva is not only confined to the walls of one classroom, but to the rural areas. where her scope for caring, compassion, and selfless service is unique. Surup Rawal has been awarded Doctor of Philosophy in Education and more recently a Doctor of Letters, both from University of Worcester, UK. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, and hello to all the participants here. I'm so glad to be here and, in conversation with you all. So, thank you, sir, for this lovely speech you gave before me, and I'm totally with you. I agree with you totally. Um, what does it mean? What does women empowerment mean? Initially, it is thought of that they should be able to earn and they should be educated. But I have found women that are educated and earning, they are not empowered. So, what is empowerment and how would it come? One of the nice ideas I have and what I work in is life skills. So, life skills are a large group of psychosocial interpersonal skills that help people make informed choices, communicate effectively, develop coping, and very important self management skills. They'll help an individual lead a healthy and a productive life. I think it is life skills and enhanced life skills that really talk of empowerment. And all the work that I have been doing up till now is in working towards empowering the vulnerable and the marginalized. And it's worked fabulously, especially in Gujarat, where I have worked extensively. For example, there was this beautiful project which I had done with for 5,400 villages in Gujarat, touching 68,000 adolescent girls and boys. And these girls went and transformed their villages and they transformed the lives of all their, the villagers and the children they worked with and things like that. So I am for enhancing life skills because I think life skills is what is really empowering. For example, we keep on saying, give them a voice, give women a voice. But you know what? If you don't teach them to talk, there is really no point in giving them a voice. So, my take is that empowerment is not only about a financial or economical, but it is even emotional. Women need to be emotionally and psychologically and socially empowered. And it is very important because if we are at least 50% of the population, India is not going to be empowered unless we empower the women. So this is my take on empowerment, and I'm sure we will continue the discussion and we will take it forward. Welcome to all the rest of you all.
Very aptly said, ma'am. Next on the panel, we have Ms. Rashhi Sharma, the founder CEO of international trainer and therapist Soul Consciousness Lab. She is a spiritual healer, professional trainer, therapist, life counselor, and a shaman. Has worked trained with the most renowned therapists of the world. She is an internationally certified for hypnotherapy, past life regression, future life progression, psychic healing, intuition, Akashic records reading, and shamanic practitioner. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Arfica, and I'm grateful to India Achievers Forum and everyone present here on this beautiful day. It's a great honor and opportunity to be among such an esteemed panel and listen to their valuable thoughts. I'm Rashhi Sharma, and I'm a professional hypnotherapist and international trainer. I help people around the globe with hypnotherapy, past life regression, life between lives, shamanic healing, and other holistic healing modalities, which brings a powerful and natural, drug free, permanent positive changes in all the spheres of our life, be it mental, emotional, physical, psychological, or behavioral. And actually, my journey in women empowerment started. In 2016, it began when I got a distress call from a woman who called me for help, and she wanted me to hypnotize her husband so that he can stop abusing their 10-year-old daughter. So though I tried to help her, but she immediately backed out and pleaded that she don't want anything to be reported anywhere. And she said that she's 100% dependent on her husband for everything, and she's waiting for her son, who was doing some technical training at that time, and she wanted her son to complete his studies. Only after that she can move out of that relationship. So I was not able to help her because she called from an STD in 2016. So that memory still haunts me, and it kind of drives me towards my goal. So that was the moment I pledged that I'll try to contribute whatever is possible in my own way to empower women. So they can be financially and emotionally independent and can take the right decisions, which would not only help them, but also help the whole society and our nation as a whole. In my field, actually, women can use their inherent talents, which are naturally gifted to them and not which are contrary to their nature. And I've been doing some research on this. And from last 8 years, I have listened to around 4,000 women who are basically from all the economic strata. And after researching, what I have found is that we want to train women as men. Here we make women invisible, and we appreciate the ones somehow who replaces men. But it seems very misleading, but they can be my views as well. This is something we are not. Nature has given us gifted women with nurturing qualities of selfless care, love, compassion, resilience, patience. And we need these qualities here in my field as a therapist, good therapist, and healer. So we see that women can easily and very naturally and efficiently work in the area of holistic therapies and counseling. And if we train women in this area, they can naturally and not only start their own profession, but also start helping the society to transform positively from grassroots level. And one more thing I'll add here, as Surup ma'am said very rightly, that they are financially independent actually. But the thing is that I have many clients who are very rich, who are very independent, but they are dependent on their husbands and even for the use of the credit card. So it is something which we need to change at the grassroots level to tell them that they are complete in themselves. In fact, the family is dependent onto the women. Like kids are dependent onto the woman. So women is like the core of the house. So that we need to change, even though we are teaching our daughters, giving them best education, but somehow we are teaching them to keep quiet as well. So I'm working onto this on a grassroots level, and at the same time, from my own professional journey as a hypnotherapist, I found out that in India we lack high quality education and training programs in my work area of hypnotherapy and regression therapy, where we use more of the greater part of our mind to change, to bring a transformation in people's life. And I found out that we lack high quality education. So I myself had to travel to West for best trainings in education, and I saw that we are too much dependent on the West for good and advanced level of training, and not everyone can access these easily. So from my all knowledge and experience, I started quality professional training and therapy programs, and to make India self independent and self reliant in my work area, I introduced all those trainings and therapy programs for which we had to travel to West, and I'm working towards making India as a center for all the advanced and high-end education in hypnotherapy and other holistic healing modalities in collaboration with the best international bodies. So in the past 8 years, people from around the globe have approached our high-end and advanced training in therapy services and have appreciated this fact that India is able to offer the best and most advanced services in this sector. Our training and therapy programs basically focuses to bring these two important goals together of women empowerment and Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India. And I hope and pray that we would be able to achieve this vision and goal with great success. And I'm really grateful to present here today. Back to you, Vatika.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You have made us realize how important it is for women to be self reliant, especially. Next on the panel, we have Ms. Malini Ranganathan, Director of Indo-French Bindi NGO. Dr. Malini Ranganathan has from 1983 created awareness of Indian cultural ethos and value systems, trained thousands of women in France in Indian fine and performing arts, and academically mentored them in international management systems. The first Indian lady from France conferred with the prestigious and highest distinction to an NRI, the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award, by the Honorable Sri Ramnath Kovind in January 2019. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for this introduction. I think it kind of resumes what I do in France. Yes, it's been almost 38 years that I moved to France. And as most Indians, I was not familiar with French. I thought my art will help me carry on and be able to communicate with people. But at one point, I needed the language also to explain. And so I started learning French and then ended up doing my doctorate in French. And today I teach in French. So this is my I would say, linguistic voyage to France. On the cultural side, yes, I have been performing. For me, performance was my initial mission and vision, and that led on to teaching because I have always been very attracted to transmitting my knowledge and sharing it with others. This took a new process because I had to do it with also learning the language. So it was like a permanent learning and teaching process, and that makes you realize how these challenges become a kind of interesting, I would say, doorways which open. Finally, you realize, and that is what I would like to tell other women, particularly men and women, but women particularly, is that we usually give up at the first initial obstacles. There are always obstacles in life. So I think if we could take these obstacles as probably a window or a door which is opening, probably we will have many more women having scope to prove their worth, because I think every woman has great talent. And as all of you rightly said, I particularly believe in developing the soft skills because women are known for that. Why not make the best of it? I really appreciated how Swaroop said that it's good to give voice, but we need to teach them how to talk. And that's exactly what I'm doing also with, Indian diaspora. So kids coming from Indian diaspora, kids and women, and also the French, because you would be very surprised to realize that French also have some apprehension with speaking English or communicating with the rest of the world because they have a different culture. So I think cultural differences should not seem to be an obstacle, which was my lesson that I learned, and I'm giving back to the society. So I founded this Indo-French non-profit association called Bindi, which is symbolic of all that India can represent, especially women. And I, of course, wear the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman award with righteous pride. I have developed several activities which are charity shows, etc. But particularly what I would say, I'd like to say a few words about Atmanirbhar concept, because it doesn't really concern me because I'm outside India, but I still thought I should be part of this mode, which is so comforting. So I know that you, as you all know also, that dance and music are much better learned in physical presence of the teacher or the guru. But during the pandemic, COVID pandemic, and forced temporary lockdown of all cultural institutions in France, I went online and tried to create a new mode of continuing to learn and teach. So this virtual mode, for me, my approach to Atmanirbharta concept was to respect our tradition of regular riyaz and practice, and continue to take care of the progress of the students' learning. And this has been very much appreciated because France respects India a lot with Modi ji's concept of International Yoga Day, which I am a convener, and I've been successfully doing it in France every June. This has added more value to our ancestral heritage of sadhana, perfecting through practice, and the French have really appreciated it. And for me, that is my contribution towards the Atmanirbharta concept, because this is enhance the spirits which was low-lying when we had the COVID pandemic, and people could maintain uninterrupted physical exercise and keep to positive well-being. That is my concept, and I would like to just begin by saying that I think about talking about women empowerment. I have a lot to say, but I don't think it's the moment, probably because everybody has to take time to speak. I would like to just say that I have created protocols of teaching for different ages of girls and women, and different contents, teaching contents, as much as on my cultural side, which is dance, as much also on the protocol of teaching and the academic style, which was my doctorate. My doctorate was from the European University on didactics of educational sciences and creating protocols for higher education. So, and many of my students are women. So I think, which is commonly known, that enhancing the knowledge and educating boys was very important for a family. But today we must realize that educating a girl is educating the entire family. So she is going to go through the process of transmitting it to her kids, etc. So I think education is priority in all its forms, in all its the sectors, and develop confidence in our young women. So I give you back the mic. Thank you.
Okay, so next on the panel we have Mr. Gautam Mukherjee. Dr. Gautam Mukherjee was a national football player and has also played for Vasco and Mohan Bagan Football Club in League till 2021. He is also a member of Board of Studies, LNIPE Gwalior. He is passionate about sports and children and has always wanted to build a valuable sports program at grassroots level. He has many publications with international journals in education and sports management. Over to you, sir.
Thank you for the nice words, Radhika, and thank you for having me here. I'm really honored to have you with all the enriched and accomplished panelists today. Secondly, congratulations to all the winners of Atmanirbhar Bharat Summit Award. The topic, when I got to know the topic when one of your colleagues contacted me. So this is something which I don't do as a part of my main course, mainstream business or mainstream endeavor, but there are certain things, small things, which we are trying to do, and so-called Atmanirbhar Bharat. But my perception of empowerment probably is a bit different, and it's absolutely my personal opinion. So to me, from my childhood, we have been taught through various cultures that, and which is a matter of fact, that women are powerful. You have a divine power. So empowerment is something more than power, something more than powerful. And to me, empowerment is a self-determination in people or in community. Now the question is, often it is discussed, often it is asked that, do men have the power to empower women? And truth to be told, from my opinion, my answer would be no. We may not have the power to empower women. That's again what my belief is. Very often, many of my friends, many of my colleagues from men, I often hear, me and my family, we are very open because we don't restrict, and in fact, I allow my wife to work. Well, that's where the problem starts. The statement, we allow. So what we try to do through sports is, and there are typically, the way I look at empowerment is, and it is not only for women, also for men, also for kids. Empowerment seekers are anybody who needs to be empowered, especially for women. Here, that in this forum we are talking about. So there are basically five different ways of empowerment. In specific, if I have to mention it, social, educational, economic, political, and psychological. And sports is something which has the strongest ground, strongest foothold, or strongest connect and aggregator to actually connect all these five. We are actually a sports promoter. We do a lot of work at sports promotions, grassroots level. We work with central government. We work with state governments as the sports development partners. So what we identified is we have our academies, and I'll tell you how this women empowerment started, and it became it captured a big area in our team. So in the Northeast, when we had started our academy, it started with 6-7 academies. So there were 6 to 7 girls, those who were very interested in sports. But then we kept on inviting them to start practicing with the kids, but they ran away. I mean, it's a very natural phenomena. So one day we started discussing, and then I suddenly thought, why not to change the table? Why not to change the complete side of it? So I called more than 50 girls, and I told them, I'll give you a responsibility, and I'll work closely with all of you. And there were age groups from 13, 14 years to 40 years women. And I told them that you need to organize a tournament for men. Can you do that? And whatever is required, will support you. And that is where I thought, and I've seen that there was a paradigm shift, when women actually organized a football tournament for men. So if you see, we did not empower them. We created an environment, an opportunity for women by which they can empower men by organizing the tournament. And then we witnessed a tremendous enthusiasm and tremendous a zeal of playing sports. And sports is all about just one reason, for which even Virat Kohli plays cricket and Messi plays football. Because of the same reason, I think a kid also plays for sports. And that reason is joy of playing. I mean, that's the foremost one. And joy is something which I have started looking at as one of the most powerful, empowering tool for women. Is the joy of doing something, a joy of accomplishing something. I think that's one of the very, very important thing that we should talk more about when we're talking about women empowerment. Anyway, so we started one academy in a very humble manner with just 12 to 14 girls. After 2 years now, we are India's largest women football academy with more than 800 girls playing football 5 days a week. And this year they are going to be a part of National League. So you see, the movement started with, it was not even a movement. It was never thought that it would create a movement. It just started with one simple thought, that how can we engage those women in a very noble cause of come and play and have joy for an hour or two. So that's how it started. The other thing that we have started doing is, and later on we realized that that's very important, because empowerment has a very direct impact and proportionate equilibrium with the economy. So there are a lot of women who have played for the state, who have played for the country, but because of lack of education, they are not employable. So what we have started doing in a very small manner is, we recruit those women, we train them, and we place them in our company as coaches, as trainers. Of course, in the beginning, they are not at par with somebody who is from a physical education college or from a sports coaching degree. But with the confidence of our partner schools, our academies, our clients, they have also understood, and they are doing fantastic. So there are a little bit of bits and pieces that we are trying to do, and I'm sure that one thing, if we can change that, every time that men need to support for the woman, I think if that table shifts, if that view shifts, I think that things will be much easier and faster, and women would be more empowered. And again, this is my personal belief. In respect to women empowerment, this is something what we have started doing 3 years back, and we now have something as a different brand, as a different business unit, as sports women. So we do a lot of work around sports, but yes, the platform is sports for women. That is what we are. Thank you once again for allowing me to share thoughts on our work, and congratulations once again, and thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for speaking on the topic. And you have made us realize how important sports is, and we need more men like you with that thinking. Okay, so moving ahead, next on the panel we have Ms. Srividya Pupala, the CEO of Ensconce Business Process Consulting Services LLP. She has done masters from University of Massachusetts Lowell. She has received multiple awards and recognitions for technical achievements, project management, or be it for people management. She has always believed in creating a talent pool in whichever organization she has worked. She is talent driven and is innovative in her programs. She has conducted multiple Propel confluences and as certified propeller in TCS. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Patika, for that wonderful introduction. Yeah, I would just like to start with the quote, which is very favorite to me. Dream is not what you see in sleep. Dream is something that does not let you sleep. It is by our beloved and loving Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And I would love to take this opportunity to congratulate all the awardees for the Atmanirbhar Bharat Awards 2021. My heartfelt congratulations to everyone. Coming to my journey, I would say that I've been in the IT industry for 20 years in varied technical and managerial roles. Worked for the organizational development, quality, people, process compliance in the companies like TCS, Infosys. In 2011, I had the opportunity to help a consulting company as an independent consultant to build business framework for project management, people engagement, and proposals. After that, my roles in the respective companies also revolved around the organizational development like Fidelity, UST Global. My last experience was with Walgreens Boots Alliance, where my role was as a portfolio development manager, bringing in the agile practices and right people engagement strategies while managing their development functions. See, what I feel is the structured growth, what I have seen in IT is also one of the reasons for how we have seen the IT industry transform itself, right? And I'm trying to address this gap for the MSME segment, for the MSMEs to do better in their businesses, bring operational effectiveness and bring scale into their businesses. If you observe, traditional small mid-sized organizations do not realize the importance of investing in process controls early in their journey. So they are so busy with their day-to-day transactions that they fail to put in their desired effort to consciously focus on the process and continuous enablement, right? Even with respect to their company or the employees. When they become stagnant or unable to grow, that's when the alarm bells, start ringing. And by then, the established processes are so deeply entrenched into their system that it becomes their culture, and the change to recovery from that phase is impossible or certainly not easy. Our organizations definitely face friction for their employees and who resist change during this phase, right? And this becomes a vicious cycle, and many MSMEs fall into that trap of non-performance. Building in the awareness about the proactive and continuous focus on the process and culture among the startups and mid-sized businesses has always been, and we are passionate about evangelizing this important concept. And I'm really happy to be in this industry of business consulting, helping the MSMEs, the startups and established businesses. I would like to quickly also mention that about Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the contribution of the woman. I'm sure you see that not only in our history, but even in the current and past generations, it is quite evident. With now about 50% population belonging to our women, and with countless women stalwarts contributing to the growth of Indian economy, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, I truly believe, would only fuel this mindset of growth and act as a catalyst for India's GDP, growth of women entrepreneurs, and the growth in the respective industries for better employment and employment opportunities. I am also associated with entities like MSME Development Institute, Government of India in Bangalore, MSME World for building entrepreneurial mindset and for the growth of entrepreneurs apart from running my own business. It has been a very satisfying journey, I must say, and I love to work in this MSME space. Before I hand over the mic to you, Vatika, I would like to quickly mention to the women out there, I would like to say that I had also had my share of demanding circumstances in my life too, but I strongly believe that we get every opportunity to come out of these problems. Some issues may take longer time to resolve. What held me from not falling apart is my passion towards running my business and the change which I want to really bring in the MSME segment. I had always prioritized my thoughts to be determined, grow the business even during those tough days of my life. I have always kept my professional and personal completely separate. This goes to every woman and men out there, that they have to keep things absolutely clear when it comes to professional or personal engagements. And how do we maneuver ourselves around these problems is what makes us better and a stronger person and a better business person indeed. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Vatika. Over to you.
Okay, so we are done with the panel discussion. If there's any one of you who wants to put their remarks forward on any of this, so you can do that.
Could I say something, please?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yes, thank you very much. I did mention the women empowerment program that I organize. I did not detail. I'll try to be very short. In fact, we are trying to create through my NGO the ability to create awareness and educate, of course, the French and Indian women from the diaspora, because I'm in France, to serve beyond normal expectation of art and culture, that it can reach a different domain. And as Mr. Gautam very aptly said, there are several sectors that we could deal with it, whether it's physical empowerment, which is, betterment of one's physical well-being, but it could be psychological, which played a great role during the COVID pandemic from past 1 year. Cultural, obviously, because the more they are engaged with cultural activities, they feel their talent is exposed, and this at every level gives them the confidence to present and perform. And as you said very aptly, that sportsmen and women like doing it because they enjoy. And we must not forget that art and culture is first a personal satisfaction. You like to sing for yourself, you like to dance for yourself, and then eventually it goes on to sharing with others. When we fully enjoy doing something with happiness and the joy of sharing it, it's almost the second step, which is the rasa part of it, which comes almost naturally. So I think that is something very important. And the connecting domain would be obviously the spirituality, which I would say the inner self, they have confidence in oneself by doing, practicing yoga or meditation or mantra chanting. These activities are developing a lot in Europe and particularly in France, and that is giving a new dimension for the Indian cultural heritage, and that is helping many women once they finish with their work, which is professional or at home. They often take pleasure, and they take time and take it seriously to develop this inner self, which need not be connected to any kind of religion, but spirituality, your own confidence, connecting with your own inner self. And of course, it has the last domain, which is social. When you do something for yourself which you're happy doing, obviously you're spreading a very good, I would say popular and happy environment, and that is something that women are doing in France. And I wanted just to mention that, be it on my academic side or the artistic side, I try to remind them that after so many years, I still am extremely proud to be an Indian. And Indian values have many dimensions, and they can that you can be Indian at heart and be present globally. So I would like to finish by saying I congratulate all of the Atmanirbharta Bharat Award winners. I thank of course, Indian Achievers Forum, which has honored me, and I'm really honored and humbled. And I'm there, available in Europe, in France, if I can participate. I also have written quite a few scientific, articles by peer-reviewed scholarly academic organization. So I try to balance all of this. And to finish, I'm a proud mother of 3 kids. So I think we can do it. We are polyvalent, and we must just have the opportunity and confidence in us. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Right, ma'am. We can do it, and we will do it definitely. Okay, so before concluding this session, I'd like to thank everyone on the panel today. It was pleasure talking to all of you, and it was pleasure listening to your views on the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign prevailing in the country at the moment. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving your prestigious time to us. Thank you so much.
So thank you to our panelists. I think we've had a very good discussion, and as we are now just about to draw curtains to the summit, I would like to request Mr. Harish Chandra, the Executive Director of Indian Achievers Forum, to kindly propose a formal vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chandra is also the editor of CSR Times.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, on behalf of Indian Achievers Forum, I would like to thank today's chief guest, General V.K. Singh Ji, Honorable Union Minister of State for Road Transport and Highways, and guest of honor, Shri A.K. Alfonsi, Honorable Member of Parliament and former Union Minister, Shri Shyam Jaju Ji, Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Rear Admiral Shri Shekhar Mittal Ji, Dr. Ajay Garg, Dr. Bibha Dhawan, Mr. Ravi Shankar, and my friend Mr. Amit Goenka for joining us on this occasion and making this summit a grand success. I also congratulate all the award winners of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Women Achievers Award for their achievements in the respective field. I also thank to Mati Startup Hub for supporting this summit, and our sponsors, Science and Engineering Research Board and ECIL, for giving their support. Thank you very much. There is a Japanese proverb: if you feed fish to a hungry man, he would have food for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he will have food for his life. This Japanese proverb perfectly describes the essence of India's ongoing endeavor, Atmanirbhar Bharat. The idea is to become less dependent on other countries for meeting our socio-economic needs and demands. It is so heartening to see that hundreds of corporate houses, PSUs, MSMEs, and startups have already ventured into the path of becoming self-reliant. They are playing an extremely important part in fulfilling India's dream of becoming Atmanirbhar Bharat. To celebrate the achievements and contribution of all those doing a commendable job in making India self-reliant, Indian Achievers Forum is holding a series of summits and awards to appreciate them for their efforts. Today's seminar was an addition to this series. I hope that the list of Atmanirbhar companies keeps growing and India become a world leader on this direction. I thank all of you to this summit and award, which aims at not only recognizing the good work done by individuals, groups, and corporates, but also setting an example for others to follow their path in becoming Atmanirbhar. So I thank you all for joining us on this occasion, and looking forward to see you soon in our next series of event. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chandra. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we draw curtains to yet another impressive and informative summit by the Indian Achievers Forum. I hope it is beneficial to all present. Thanking once again all the participants, thanking all our panelists, and ladies and gentlemen, the threat of Corona still continues. So as we close, there is a very humble request and a wish for all to stay safe and to stay well. Thank you.